Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat Raiden figure. Because this channel is nothing if not fair. The Spawn figure was great, the ninjas were not great, a couple of their other figures were not great, but I was told this one's good, and I thought it would be my duty to review it and let you guys know if it is. And I'll tell you, it's significantly better than most of the ones I've mentioned. There are a few issues for sure that we have to talk about, but as you can see, this figure is gorgeous just to look at, and it does do some things really nicely. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands to the top of the hat, let's say 19 and a half. I guess his head's probably closer to, 18 and a half centimeters, if you're worried about actual scaling. And that puts him at about 7 1/4 and then 7 3/4, give or take. So definitely the larger scale. And boy, is this guy just something to look at. And before we get into that though, a lot of you asked me about this, the Spawn Figures axe that I was producing. I have made my first painted version of this. I posted on Instagram and Facebook. A lot of people saw that, but if you didn't, this is what it's gonna look like. I will be selling the axe in a painted and unpainted version. I haven't come up with pricing yet. The sale is not ready to happen yet. I have to finish filling all the Gambit head orders for the Marvel Legends first. But this will be a thing, and for all you patrons out there, if you are a member on Patreon at least the $5 tier, you will be allowed to participate in an advanced sale whenever that comes around to get your orders in early if you want to do that. But this is what the axe looks like. It's got some washes and some dry brushing and some painting and whatnot, and it's made to look like the Soul Calibur axe. And I like it personally, a lot of people do, but if you don't, well, that's okay. All right, back to this. That sale will be happening. There will be a video for that later. Please don't ask me about pricing. I don't have it yet. I haven't figured out how much I can sell it for and make it worth my time. Okay, this guy looks really freaking good, like exceptionally good. I wish I kept those turds of the ninja figures so that I could show you the comparison. Because all of you people who told me they looked really good, what does this look like? Because if those looked really good, where do you go from there? Because this makes those look like stick figures. This is not even close to the same quality. Like, this is exceptional. Exceptional quality in the paint and the sculpt compared to those ninjas. It's not even remotely close. I can't stress that enough. Gosh, this figure looks good. Like the gold and the blue, the armor. It's not perfect. Nothing's gonna be perfect, but it is so well done. The gold is clean. The blue is clean. The lines are clean. It's nice and metallic. There's other parts that are flat. There's other parts that are glossy. Maybe this black and white thing shouldn't be glossy. That looks a little weird. But still, the paint work and sculpt work down here, it's so clean. There's green in there. This whole, all the green on here is dry brushed. It just makes the whole figure pop. It's gorgeous. It's so well done. And those ninjas didn't have any of this. They had a few detailed spots that are nicely done. I'll give you that. A few tiny select spots, especially Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat. So Scorpion didn't. This guy makes them look like crap. The hat even has a wash on the top, extra paint job on the top. All the details are there. The face, perfectly accurate. The eyes painted very nicely. The clean trim around the face. Just everything you want aesthetically on a figure is on this figure. Gold, or metallics, glosses, satins, mattes, flats, texture. There's texture in the cloth. Oh my, it's just everything you want in a figure, aesthetically speaking. The hat's a little warped from the packaging. A hairdryer will probably fix that. How, guys? For those of you, and I'm genuinely asking, I'm not being like confrontational. I guess I am technically being confrontational. But for those of you that thought the ninjas looked good, what do you think about this? Because this is so much, it's so good. Like, okay, here's a great example. Right here, little tiny thing. That little rope connecting to this thingy has a little bit of gloss on it to separate it from the brown behind it. Those kind of little details make a figure come to life, and this guy has them everywhere, and those other figures didn't. So, you could say this guy got all the budget, those guys didn't. I would say that's a silly thing because it's Raiden and the ninjas are more important, but it doesn't matter. It's still true that those didn't have it and this one does at the same price point. This figure is gorgeous, 10 out of 10 for the aesthetic. How is this from the same company that made those? Or the Doom Guy, holy crap, compare this to Doom Guy. Doom Guy looks like he was colored out of a Crayola box, and this guy looks like a high-end collectible. this is something else. I'm impressed. Okay, as far as accessories go, also impressed. I will point out, they all come with that crappy little black stand that's in there. I hate those things, and since I have to ruin the package to take them off, I don't do it. But it's just a black plastic disc. Okay, so we have some alternate hands. We have the 2 lightning hands that come out in the package. Then we have 2 gripping hands. That's pretty cool. We do have his Gandalf staff, nicely detailed. They painted the wrap on there. It's got a really nice sculpt, and then it has some dry brushing along the top and some airbrushing. That's pretty cool. And then we have some of his orange lightning. And it's nicely done. It's nicely saturated, but we do also have some shading. So that's pretty cool. That's a good amount of accessories. That's what you need. I will give him no fist hands. He should have fist hands or like karate chop type hands. We should have some kind of hand like that. So I'm going to give him only a 9 for the accessories, I think. I just realized I was scratching my beard. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. Anyway, accessories are good. Definitely could use some better hands. Okay, as for the articulation, better than the ninjas. Look at that, he's got a full head and a full neck and everything's there and it's all connected with ball pegs and it all moves around wonderfully. It's kind of hard to show because of the hat shadowing the whole face, but no problems. I think his neck is even twisted right now and it's still working. Come on, there we go. Yeah, this guy, it's so much better. It's not like, oh, they learned. This company's 30 years old or more as far as the toys go. Maybe, I don't know. How old is the toy company? Someone tell me. They didn't need to learn. They know what they're doing. That is excellent. The shoulders, on the other hand, have a dumb thing. So a lot of them had that floating cap because the arm is connected with a ball peg. It's technically in there. I don't know if I'm going to even be able to show you. There's a floating cap in there to hide the ball peg, but there's no... You can't move it. That's totally unnecessary. You can't do anything with it. So you just have your standard shoulder rotation and the hinge, which all works. That's fine, but there is technically extra stuff in there that just serves zero purpose. So that's weird, but still plenty of range. God, this figure looks good. This thing looks like a little statue. That's what I try to say when I'm talking about things look like toys or they look like collectibles. This is at the same price point. Hang on. I need to make a point here. Did that make my point? Do you get it? Same price point. 20 bucks. And people say, it's only 20 bucks. What do you want for 20 bucks? This! I want that for 20 bucks. It can be done. Okay. Bicep swivel is there. This one's really stiff. It feels like it's going to break if I mess with it, so that needs to be dealt with. Be careful. If you have a joint made out of PVC like this and it feels like it's twisting, don't keep twisting it. You're going to shear it right off. You want to heat and cool or maybe even pop it off straight. There's lots of options. Try to figure something out before you just rip it off. But yeah, you do have a bicep swivel. This connects to the bicep, so that's really nice. Double jointed elbow provides plenty of range. It's even cut out a little bit to account for it, so that's good. The wrists have a ball hinge, and look at that. The ball hinge is the same size as the wrist, which does afford better range and better aesthetic. Really, really nicely executed. I don't know how much you need that there, but it is really nicely executed. This guy does lack in the torso. He doesn't have anything going on up here. Down here, we have some rotation and some leaning, but not much. Granted, you're probably not going to need it with this guy, but it would be better to have more. Always, especially since they could have done something behind that blue part. I wouldn't go as high as this because that's pretty high, but they could have added more, but that's fine. I don't think it's a big deal. We do have this giant sashy belt thing, which is probably going to limit articulation some, but it is mostly loose and it is very flexible, so let's see how that works. I actually already know, but I'm pretending I don't for the sake of the review. The legs go all the way out to the side. McFarlane loves his figures to do splits, and that is fine. Splits are good because they mean you can do kicks. A lot of times people ask me, why do you always see if they can go in splits? Who puts their figure in the splits? Probably not many people, but they do pose them in kicks, and kicks are half of the splits. So that works. Going forward, it's definitely not as bad as it could be given the amount of junk that's in his front trunk. So that's fine. That is okay. They do go back. That's more than reasonable given all of this crap. Thigh swivel. His figures have been lacking a significant thigh swivel. This one is as well. Virtually none. Double jointed knees. Nice. No problem at all there. Knees are good. And then for the ankle, we have a really big ball hinge, probably too big. Not as problematic as some of their other figures, but you can see the ankle really flares out from the calf, and not in a good way, not like in a natural way. It's not the best looking, but you get decent enough range going back and forward. Really good range going forward. Obviously full rotation for that, which is good. And then the toe hinge is garbage. I mean, obviously you don't want to go that far, but it's just really floppy and not going to do anything. And you do get that shelving. It's not great. But otherwise, this figure is pretty damn good. Like exceptionally good. Like probably the best figure McFarlane has released outside of Spawn. This guy right here, remember the X is going to go on sale. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably the best one they've released outside of Spawn, and even maybe better than Spawn because it's got so much more detail on it. Slightly less articulate. I don't know. It's excellent. Okay, did I rate the articulation? 8. Yeah. 7, 8 or 7. I don't know. There are some issues with like the thigh swivel and the toes. Okay, anyway, final verdict on this guy. Holy crap, it's from the same company that made Doom Guy. Can you guys see now why I said the Doom Guy was no good? This is what you can get. For the same price point. Or within a couple dollars, because they vary. I don't know if they're the exact same price point, but even still. Couple dollars. I mean, I think it is the same. Anyway, it's just not... This is what it should be. This is what collectible toys should look like for adult collectors. Simple as that. Final verdict on this guy, 9 out of 10. Excellent release. Excellent. So all of you people who keep saying, oh, you just don't like McFarlane. I have like 500 McFarlane figures in my collection. I have nothing against the company other than when they make crappy figures. That's it. I like good figures, and that's all it takes. And this is an excellent figure. Buy it. I do want like a regular color version. Like this is the bad guy, the alternate timeline or alternate whatever it is version. Their plot is really stretching this time. Anyway, I do want a regular one because this is great. Okay, there it is. I'll stop rambling. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about the figure in the comment section below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you haven't subscribed, you probably should because I have new videos out almost every single day and thousands already on the channel for the days I don't. So come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.